Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Foliage. In today's video, we are going to be talking about a very important thing related with rose plants, especially if you have got a grafted rose plant. Now on your left hand side, you can see this is the grafted portion of a rose plant. Now either it has the orange flower or the white flower. I'm not very sure which rose color it is because, as I said, everything got mixed up and I don't remember it right now. So this is the grafted portion. If I'm going to show you over here, you can see this. This is the grafted portion. So here a new color of rose was added. Now we are not sure what exactly was the parent plant. A lot of times the nursery people or people who tend to create these grafts, they tend to use either wild roses or just regular roses. So here is the original plant, the original rose that has started to grow. This is called as a sucker. It is called sucker for a reason. I will tell you in some time. Now, how did I notice that this is a sucker? It's not always necessary, but over here you can see it has 7 leaves on every part of the rose. This indicates that it is a wild variety of rose. But again, it's not always necessary because at times they can even take a regular non-wild variety of rose plant in order to create a graft. Whereas the plant that was grafted, as you can see, it has 5 set of leaves, 1 2 3 4 5. So on these usually the flowers tend to show up. Now ideally a lot of people say that if a rose plant has 7 leaves, it ideally does not put out flowers, which to some extent is correct but not completely. But I have noticed that whenever there are 7 leaves, they do not produce any flowers. So the reason why we have to cut this off. Now you might say, why cut it off? We can get 2 different colors in this. The one on the grafted side, we will get a different color, and on the mother plant, we will get a different color. Well, that's not always the case. The reason why this is called as sucker, because as and when this will start to grow, it will start to pull out all the energy from the grafted portion, and the grafted portion is most likely to die. Over here, as you can see, my grafted portion is already looking very dull. It's already looking very sick because it's pulling out all the energy. It's basically sucking out all the energy. So we will have to go ahead and cut it. Now, on this particular plant, there won't be much flowers coming up because it's already showing signs of 7 leaves. Now, how do we determine that it is a sucker? As I said, one of the indication is that there are 7 leaves, but again, it's not always necessary. So you'll have to check for the second side as well. Now, the second side, you can see this is the grafted portion, and the sucker is growing below that grafted portion. So this is a very big indication that this particular stem is a sucker and we will have to cut it off. If you're not going to cut it off, there is a high chance that your grafted rose will die. So you have to be extremely careful. Later on, we are not very sure if this rose is going to produce any flowers or not. A lot of times they don't produce any flowers. So we will have to go ahead and cut it off. Now, where do we cut it off? You have to ensure it just above that soil level. You will have to go ahead and clip it off. That's about it. We can discard this portion. Now you can see there is going to be an open cut. You can use some cinnamon powder, just put it on that cut area and let it heal. Now it's not necessary that the sucker is not going to come back again. There are chances that it will come back. You'll have to again follow the same process. So now that the sucker is out from the rose pot, all the energy will be conserved in this particular graft and it will start to grow. It is going to take some time. If you want, you can do a little bit of pruning. And that's about it. It will focus on putting up new growth. I don't use any kind of chemicals on the open wounds. I just put some cinnamon powder and that tends to work out really well. Cinnamon powder has a lot of benefits. It has antifungal properties. It works as a very good pest repellent, so I prefer to use cinnamon powder. Again, it's up to you. If you want to use anything else, you can definitely use that. I will also take out all the weeds that are growing. So that's about it, guys. You can see it is pretty simple, but it's very important to understand what a sucker is and what the graft is. You do not want to cut this portion because this is not a sucker. You do not want to cut the grafted portion. Ideally, the sucker is going to be way below the grafted area, and at times it might have 7 leaves or it might not have, but ideally it will grow below the grafted area. So ensure that you are cutting the right part of the rose plant. So guys, that's about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.